Yes, guys, welcome back to another YouTube. So, I am just about to get into leg day today, and I thought, let's get a vlog in, let's get it done. So it's Wednesday, the 6th of May. I'm on a diet break this week. I went through my full food the other day. I went through the full food on Monday, and we're about to go train legs. So, obviously, with sleep being not as plentiful as usual at the minute due to baby, I've been grabbing a 30-minute nap pre-workout this week, which obviously does eat into work time. However, I know that I am in a better mood when I've had this nap. I'm definitely able to think more creatively, and we know everything about sleep. I'm just going to perform better in the gym. I'm just going to be better. So I'll be a better coach, better partner, better everything. Because what I do is I get it in my head that no, I need to keep momentum going today. I've got shit to do, and then by the end of the day, my work quality is poorer, and then also I'm just fucked by the time it comes to finishing work for the day, which means I'm no use to anyone. So yeah, gonna get a 30-minute nap. But first of all, we're gonna have this meal here, which is meal 3. I had my first meal nice and early today because we're getting in a new routine where I'm taking Florence to nursery. So basically, it just means I'm eating pretty shortly after getting up this morning, which isn't what I usually do, but I felt fine. So I had that, then I had a chicken rice pineapple as meal 2, and then meal 3, pre-workout, I've moved things around a little bit to get a bit creative with it. And yeah, it's a pretty big meal. So we've got around 100 grams of white rice. We have got, bang that on there, 100 grams of white rice. We've got 33 grams of dates, which leaves 20 grams of carbs from dates. We've got 100 grams of pineapple, and we've got 30 grams of sauerkraut, and then 80 grams of mixed veg, and 200 grams of raw weight chicken breasts. Nice high calorie meal, plenty of carbs, not really any fats. Then I've added low salt and pink salt to that, so I've got plenty of sodium and potassium. And then I'm also going to have, that's in my Gilet pocket, which I'm going to grab. I'm also going to have a magnesium as well. And then, yeah, we're going to get the head down for a little bit. And we're going to go through legs. So I'm going to talk you through that when I get to the gym. And I'll do a voiceover because I find that's better. Speak soon. Oi, oi, sir, I'm recording this audio 6 days after recording this damn video, which I'm annoyed about, but hey ho. So this is leg day at the minute. Leg days right now for me, I'm not doing as much volume as I'd like to. I mean, I'm getting plenty of hamstrings in. God, that's a bald spot, that. This is another thing. I didn't realise I was getting bald. I knew I had a receding hairline and hair was thin, but I didn't realise I was going bald at the top until I watched this, and I was like, oh my fucking word. Can't even blame hair either, because it wasn't a beanie, it's a fucking snapback I've been wearing. Anyways, we start off these sessions with abs. I've been starting off every single session at the minute with abs and calves. Just because it's something that's like neglected. I'm not sure like on the merit of doing abs every time. I mean, we'll see in the physique as we carry on and do it. Calves is definitely something I need to bring up from a physique standpoint, and the law of priority means you do it at the start of the session, you do it more frequently. As long as the logbook's progressing, you should be maximising muscle growth doing it that way. So that's what I'm doing. And there, that's what we're doing. Abs and calves to start, 3 sets of each to failure or very close to. I'm not too particular on which ab movement I do, by the way, guys. But yeah, legs for me at the minute, because I finished powerlifting 9 weeks ago now, so 8.5 weeks before this leg session recorded here. I basically was dealing with a quad injury for like almost the entire time I was powerlifting. Pretty much, not the entire time, maybe like over half the time. I'd say like 9 months, the last 9 months of powerlifting training. So I wasn't even able to squat. So my leg days now, luckily, towards the back end of powerlifting, I did a competition on the 9th of May, or the 8th maybe, and I couldn't squat at all. I just deadlifted and bench pressed. So it is a lot more liberating now. I can actually do like leg extensions and send it in the gym, and leg press and send it a bit. But I can't tolerate that much volume, otherwise I get like almost like a strained quad sensation for the rest of the week. So obviously me being in a fat loss phase right now and just coming only 9 weeks away from that, it's probably not the best time for me to try and ramp up loads and loads of legs volume. But luckily, I feel like quads are a pretty good genetic strong point for me. And I feel like, me even just doing like 2 sets of leg extensions, which we'll see today, and 2 sets of leg press, I feel like that's going to be enough to sort of push them forwards. But yeah, anyways, there's calves, 3 sets, trying to go for 10 to 15 reps. Sometimes a little bit lower on that, but the main thing is you're getting close to failure.
And I'm going for like a 2-second negative, pausing in the stretch whilst keeping my big toe down, and then all the way back up. Then, something which I've never done before, is I'm starting a couple sessions in a week with biceps, literally just to see what the hype is about. I see a lot of bodybuilders at the minute doing this type of thing, and it's obviously to bring up weak points. Now, for me, I could definitely argue everything's a weak point, really, to really look at my physique. But I'd say arms in my upper body, especially. Calves and arms, if I was to be like super critical. So yeah, we're starting off with some biceps, and I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's nice. It's like a little treat at the start of your leg day, and it also makes you look like, or makes you feel like you still look like you lift when you're in one of these fat loss phases and losing loads of weight. So it's nice. It's a nice start. So we've got preacher curl here. We're sort of training the shortened range of the bicep, as opposed to the lengthened. So lengthened range movement might be like an incline curl. Typically what you'll find is stuff like the lengthened range stuff might beat up your tendons a bit more, but also beat up the muscle more as well. So if you're going to do something super frequent, you're better off doing something that's in the shortened range. That's the idea anyways. So that's why I did preacher curl, just 2 sets of that, not crazy. Then to actually start the actual leg session, started off with lying single leg curls. So we're starting off by targeting the shortened range. This is essentially where you are weakest. So at the start of your session, when you're the weakest, may as well target that puppy first. And we're going single leg because it's good to make sure you're working on imbalances. We did 2 or 3 sets of this, I can't quite remember. Aiming for anywhere from 8 to 12 reps. Might have fallen a bit short. And a couple things that I want you to be thinking about when you're doing your leg curls is belly ready for a punch, and then also think of driving your quad, so the front of your thigh, into the pad as you curl up. And it just helps get a good contraction on the hamstring. Something I've changed on these recently as well, off my brother's advice actually, is putting the pad higher up on my calf. And I must admit, it feels really good. Just feels like you're more stable, you can get better contraction. So I've been doing that as well. Don't look that high when I'm watching it back, but it was higher than what I was having it, and it feels awesome. So definitely give that a go, guys. Then we went into seated leg curl, which is stressing the hamstring a little bit more in the lengthened range because the hip is bent. And these were pretty good. These have been good. These have been progressing nicely. So even though I'm in a fat loss phase, you know, these movements are all progressing pretty well at the minute for the most part, as long as I'm staying consistent with the same gym. Over the birth of his new daughter, I did have a couple sessions where I trained at a different gym, which meant when I came back to this one, first session back did feel a bit tough and I went backwards a little bit, but then this is my second leg session back in this particular gym, the unit Saddleworth, and numbers were up, and I think this was a PB today. So all I'm doing there is belly ready for a punch and pressing myself back into the pad with the handles. I don't know why, it just feels way better for me pressing against the lower part. And yeah, I'm going for a 3-second negative, pausing the stretch, pausing the squeeze. You don't have to do it like that, but it just feels nice and safe. And it just makes sure I'm controlling every range of motion. Sorry, I've got my daughter here whilst I'm doing the voiceover. Okay, next up, the quads. The muscle group that I train the least every single week. So we just did 2 sets of leg extensions here, and I actually hit some PBs on this in this session, which I was fucking buzzing with actually. And as you can tell, we're going for the 3-second down, pause on either side of the range again, which is, I find it just seems to be less risk of injury doing it this way. And the reason that my argument for that is, any sort of like rehab that you do with a physio, what have you, the last thing you do is doing things fast with high force, like sprinting, jumping. So if you can control things and do them nice and slow, there's less force going through them tissues. There's less stress going through them in a way that's going to risk injury. So yeah, there we go. Lovely stuff. Right, as you can probably hear in the background, we've got family stuff kicking about, and that's just life right now. Okay, leg extensions. After them, we did 2 sets of them, and then went on to the leg press, and we did 2 sets again. So these, I have been doing a little bit lower reps than I was used to do like years gone by. which sounds weird because I'm coming back from an injury, but I've actually been feeling really solid. I've been going for 3 seconds on the way down, or trying to, and then not pausing at the top. The reason I'm not pausing at the top is I just think if I pause at the top, I'll be able to do more and more reps and more weight, which right now I'd rather get as much out of as little as possible to grow my quads whilst I'm rehabbing them. And I'll probably continue in that fashion anyways, like, you know, until I have a justification for any other way of doing it. So yeah, I'm just putting my feet as low on the platform as I can, whilst keeping my heels down, like a medium stance, nothing crazy. Could go narrow and go even more quad dominant, but I just think it'd wreck me. And then after that, I was supposed to do hack squat. I actually did. I've been doing, like, I'm really weak on the hack squat. It's probably one of my weakest lifts. And I went onto the hack squat and I did my last warm-up set with, lo and behold, 1 plate aside. And I was just going to do 1.5 plates. I've been doing 3 seconds down, pausing at the bottom. And as I was doing that 1 plate, it felt heavy as fuck. And I literally just went to the point where I just got 8 reps, and that was a hard set for me. I know it's embarrassing. And as soon as I stood up, I was like, my quad feels, I've got that straining sensation in it. I'm just like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not doing another set, and I'm probably not going to do hack squat this coming week either. And then as you can see here, I'm finishing off with something that's called a 3D quad stretch. The reason I've done that rather than just a traditional static stretch, people typically do static stretches after they've worked out, rather than a dynamic one. Dynamic's something you probably do before, if you are going to stretch before, if you're like lacking massive mobility. But what I found with this is, because you're going through, like, taking the quad through different angles, it just seems to provide, how can I say it, a better sensation of relaxation of the muscle, because you just feel like you're getting it for every angle, basically. I mean, there's not much way I can say it. It just feels good. So yeah, that's legs at the minute. Very small session. That's just the way it is. 2 days after this, I'll tag on, I do like a full body session where it's literally upper body, and I just literally tag on 3 sets of hamstring curls lying, and then 1 hinge. It was stiff leg deadlifts, but now I've transitioned to a 45-degree hip extension, as when I'm a bit sleep deprived and food's low, I just feel like big movements like that do feel a little bit injury provoking. So yeah, we've switched to that 45-degree, and as you can see, your boys trying to grow his quads back, little skinny bad boys. On to the next. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you haven't. See you soon.